everybody, welcome to my Booktube channel. My name is Amanda Moeller and this is the Booktube Newbie Tag. So I wanted to get on camera just to film a quick introduction to my Booktube channel. So just a quick disclosure, I think this is going to be one of the questions, so I'm just going to read the first question. But a quick disclaimer, this is not my first time starting a Booktube channel. This is actually my second time starting a Booktube channel. I have a Booktube channel already. You're in it right now actually, because I'm not about to change my entire Booktube channel. Just keeping track of that many emails is an absolute nightmare. So I'm just gonna keep my current Booktube channel and just relaunch it. Kind of do a whole new Booktube Newbie Tag, private a bunch of videos, and just like start fresh. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I haven't posted a video since 2018. So definitely I'm like a different person, a different vibe, different like everything. So I feel like I just want to start fresh to kind of reintroduce myself and do this tag all over again. So yeah, basically the first question will be, why did you start this channel? So yeah, as I said before, this is my second time starting a Booktube channel. But originally, I started a Booktube channel because I was in college and had some friends, but nobody like read as many books as I did, and I got like deep into the Booktube rabbit hole, and I wanted to start a channel like so bad. So I actually started a channel documenting my time in college, but it just like never kind of like grew on steam. Like I was posting videos like 2-3 times a week, and it was a lot of work, and I was in college, so it was just a lot of work. So now I'm restarting my Booktube channel basically because of the same reason. I never stopped reading. I was always reading all throughout this time. I was probably still reading like 50 plus books a year, but I still didn't have a lot of people to talk to about. Like obviously, like I have a great family, a great boyfriend, some great friends that happen to have some of the similar hobbies that I do, but I've never found that like bookish friend that I can like really rave about books with, and that's why I kind of still want to start a Booktube channel for the same reason. I want to find some friends, I want to read together, I love doing all the activities still, like even though I was not filming Booktube videos, I will still be being part of readathons, and I know the readathon is about to start, so I'm really excited about it. And I still like to form parts of book clubs. So yeah, so I just want to be part of the community again, and I really missed it. So I really want to start making my own content again. So then, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? So yeah, I love reading a diverse amount of genres. I read science fiction, I read YA, I read children's books, I read thrillers, mysteries, romances, spicy romances. Spicy romances is something new. I just recently, well not recently, like 2 years ago, but you missed all of that, started like dipping my toes on the water of spicy romances, and I'm kind of obsessed. But yeah, so that's a little embarrassing though. And then obviously like sci-fi, I still read a lot of sci-fi. So yeah, I read a lot of genres, but that's pretty common. I also like doing art of books stuff, so I like to do a lot of like weird art about like just collages about my favorite books. I'm currently doing a little doll. I wanted to show you the progress so you get an inside scoop. So I'm doing a little crochet doll of my favorite character of Fourth Wing. So that's something that you get to look forward to. I'm already kind of filming that vlog right now as well. So you'll get to see me finish Fourth Wing. So yeah, I'm all about the hype on Booktube books. And I love reading all the books, even though a lot of the time I don't think the hype is there. Because like, I don't know, I've read a lot of books throughout my life. So I'm a little bit more discerning now that I'm an adult. Like I'm almost 26. So yeah, like I definitely still subscribe to the hype, but I'm a little bit more discerning. But yeah, so far I'm loving Fourth Wing though, so that's good. And then what are you most excited about for this new channel? Okay, whoever wrote this question, I'm sorry, but that's not very grammatically correct. So I'm most excited about being part of readathons and challenges. I will also love to do some content like Books and Lala does, which is one of my favorite booktubers. I put her handle right here. She does a lot of like in-depth, like planned month in advance, like very intricate and very detail-oriented reading challenges for herself, and I'm all about that. I honestly love that, and I love the fact that she can like when I first started Booktube, the thing was to do like 14-minute videos, tons of book hauls, tons of book recommendations, and tons of like just like what's it called when wrap-ups. So yeah, it was basically just that, but now I feel like the vlog has come more into vogue, and I'm so excited about doing vlogs because I feel like that is more my scene, and I really like to do some like very niche, very in-depth vlogs about books I'm reading. So yeah, that's one of the things I'm most excited about. Why do you love reading? I've loved reading. So I had a very tumultuous relationship with reading when I first started because I'm not very dyslexic. I'm very dyslexic. And I was kind of forced to read because my parents put me in like reading therapy. I know that's not the actual word for it, but that's basically what it was. Like somebody that just was teaching me how to read, so I was kind of like forced into reading a little. But then I kind of switched to my great-grandma being my therapist, which is a conflict of interest now, I know, but I didn't know back then. And she was the one teaching me how to read after that, and she really made it fun. So I do have a lot to thank to her, my grandma Lisa, great-grandma Lisa, and she was really good at that. And then my teachers also put up love into reading into me. But all of this happened when I was already like older. I was like in my late, maybe like 10, 11, 12, I started reading when I was definitely older, and then I started actually reading for fun when I was an adult, so like 20 plus years old. I didn't really read for fun before that, and I think just the fact that like I understand where people are coming from when they say they hate to read, because it is something that you definitely have to get used to. So I definitely comprehend that, and I'm a huge audiobook listener. It is my preferred method of reading. So you'll probably see my end of the month wrap up, and like over half of those books are gonna be audiobooks. Because I can just like read when I'm at work, because I have one of those jobs where you don't really have to like talk to people. So I can be like put headphones in my own world. It's the best. So yeah, so I like reading because of that. What book or series got you into reading? So the book or series that got me into reading was The Hunger Games. I read it when it first came out in like, I don't know, I'll have to look up the year, but I was in 6th or 7th grade, so I was like 12, and my reading teacher, because I was in a remedial reading class, so I didn't have to read anything in the curriculum, because they put us in that remedial reading class, so they kind of encouraged us to read whatever. The only thing they wanted us was to read, which I actually think is a really good policy in a remedial reading class, because they were like, who cares, as long as you're reading something. So my teacher decided to show us The Hunger Games, and I devoured those books. I devoured them in a rate that I've never been able to read again. Honestly, I've never been able to just sit in one sitting read an entire book, but that's exactly what I did with that book. And then I think the second one came out the year after, and then the third one, and then the movies, and I was all about that hype. I was not a Twilight girl, I was a Hunger Games girl all the way, and then a Divergent girl. Like definitely Divergent, Hunger Games. I like my dystopian, especially when it comes to YA in the early 2010s. That was my vibe for sure. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So I already know this because, again, it's my second time trying. I really struggled with jealousy and competition in a way. Like, I am a competitive person. I will be the first to admit it. Like, and the fact that you can see so many numbers when it comes to YouTube in general. You're able to see who's watching your videos. You're able to see, like, how many people like it, how many people actually watched it. Like, did they just click on it and leave right away? So that was really crushing to me when I was kind of like seeing like nobody was watching my videos, and then I saw people that I started with around the same time, because you also kind of know who started with you at the same time, and they were doing really good and I was not. So it was very crushing to me, and I was like, is it my personality? Is it like I was just in a vulnerable state also? I was just like younger. I had just gone through a huge breakup. So I was just like, okay, I'm talking to the void. I'm wasting my time. I should concentrate on college. So I stopped doing it. But yeah, it's just, I think that will be challenging just because I don't think a lot of those issues are just going to magically resolve themselves, because there will still be competition and YouTube still shows you a bunch of numbers that I won't be able to control whether or not I'm doing well. So yeah, those are my biggest challenges, and I know it'll take a lot from me to be able to overcome them, and hopefully I will. But I honestly can't predict how it's gonna go. So yeah, that's definitely scary. And when did you start reading? So again, I started reading when I was about 10 or 11, and really started really reading for fun around 20. Where do you read? So I read in here. This is a recliner that I'm not reclining right now because otherwise I'll be really short. And then I read on my bed, and then I read on the couch. So I live in a 1-bedroom apartment with a boyfriend and a huge pit bull. So the spaces for me to read at are pretty limited. Like, I really can only read in my bed or in this chair, and that's it. So yeah, so that's where I like to read. What kind of books do you like to read? So my favorite type of book to read is sci-fi and fantasy with a lot of like world building and settings. Like, my favorite author is Brandon Sanderson, but I honestly don't read sci-fi and fantasy that is like very hardcore very often. But when I do, it is my favorite. But because it takes so much of me to read that type of book, like, I really have to focus. I have to like make like mental notes of like, what does this word mean? What's this character's name? Who is this character related to? I'm like confused. So I really have to concentrate when I read those type of books. So I don't read them often, but when I do read them, they're my favorite. But what I probably read the most is romances. I can go through romances like crazy. Right now I'm reading Icebreaker, which is this book. I have it in my bed, but I just don't want to go get it. And oh my god, that book is so good. It's another TikTok recommendation, actually. So yeah, so I'm actually for the win. TikTok recommendations are doing great for me so far. And what else do I read? I read a lot of thrillers. Thrillers are the most I read. Audiobooks. I love a good audiobook thriller. I feel like it really puts me in the atmosphere. And I'll read those at work, because reading like sexy books at work or romances at work makes me super cringe. I will just be like listening to people I can't, and I cannot do romances in public. I'm sorry. Some people can. I'm just not that strong, and I appreciate you if you can, but I'm not that person. Oh, we're already in the last question. That's so sad. What does your book collection look like? So my book collection is really interesting because I'm an avid reader, but I don't keep a lot of books. So I'm gonna just pan out right now, like these, those, and those. And the last one I don't think is books. Those are board games. So yeah. So there you go. I'm gonna put you right back down. Hopefully we're still in focus. Here we go. So those are all my books. So basically I just keep books that I like. That's my personal policy. So I don't love keeping books that I don't like. I usually donate those to little free book libraries. They have a ton in my neighborhood, so I just go and stockpile those. I also love my library is pretty sucky, honestly. I live in a very metropolitan city area, so libraries have like holds of like months. So good luck if I get something from there. But they do have a great audiobook collection, and they do have a great ebook collection. So I usually get my ebooks and audiobooks from the library and Scribd, and I also get them from Audible. I know Audible is kind of a bad word on Booktube now, but honestly I have like 15 credits, so I'm not gonna just give up on that. And I also have all my batches. I have so many batches, and they're so pretty. I'll put all the ones I have right here because honestly I'm super proud of them. It takes forever to collect all of the batches, so I don't want to get rid of my Audible subscription, so I still have it. So yeah, so I do that mostly, and I buy some books from time to time. I do have 3 local indie bookstores in a 1-mile radius from my apartment. I didn't plan that. That just happened to be that way, and I love it so much. So yeah, I do go to my local indie bookstore a lot, especially because it's walking distance. So I'll just like go on a night walk and just peruse around. So yeah, so those are all my books. I don't have a huge book collection, and I don't buy a lot of books. So that's kind of gonna be the vibe of my channel. I don't want to change that. So if you're really into book hauls, this probably not gonna be for you, but I will do a lot of book recommendations, and I'll show you my TBR, and I'll do a wrap up. I'm also really into my Bookstagram, so you can follow me on Bookstagram because I do a little review and a little picture of all the books that I read on Bookstagram. That is it, and thank you for all the questions. I'll of course tag the people. So I actually I found these questions going on Booktube, and I clicked the first person I saw. So the first person I saw was Kat from Lit with Kat. So I'll tag her down below because I guess she's the one that showed me the tag for the first time. But I know that the tag originally was a tag. I know a Clockwork Reader started this tag, so I'll also tag her down below. And Books and Lila is my favorite booktuber, so I'll tag her. But I honestly don't know a lot of the trendy people on Booktube anymore. I am very much stuck like 3 or 4 years ago, so I'm also like looking for recommendations. If you have a Booktube channel, comment it down below because I'd love to follow as many new people as I possibly can because I really want to get back into the community in a full force. So yeah, that's it for the Booktube tag. Thank you for following me. If you were still following me and this popped up in your recommended page, hey, I'm back. Nice to see you again, and bye. Read something new.